Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into Wild Things Park, for Vulcan Baseball here today as the California Vulcans will be taking on the Rock of Slippery Rock. This here is supposed to be a 4-game series. Yesterday, not able to play those games out, so the rest of these games going to be playing off here again tomorrow, here on Sunday. We will not be able to catch that on WCAL or 91.9 FM, but keep up to date on calvulcans.com. Make sure you check all the live stats and give the website a visit and give your favorite team some publicity. But onto today's matchup, got our starters going in here for today. For the Vulcans, you're going to have Jackson Miller starting on the mound, junior, 3.6 ERA, hoping to get some good pitches in here to start off here for the Vulcans. On the defensive side of the field for the Vulcans, batting first for them at third base is going to be Connor Carney, the sophomore. Next up in the order is going to be the shortstop, number 27, Caleb Collins, the freshman. Third will be number 8, second baseman Santino Mara. Fourth will be number 7, left fielder Ryan Callahan, Jr. Batting fifth is going to be number 20 and the designated hitter Peyton Connie. He's a junior. Number 6 in the batting order, number 26, the catcher Jaden Taitano, the senior. Batting seventh is going to be number 12, first baseman Nathan Meeks, the junior. Batting eighth is number 1, the center fielder Jason Nutridge, the freshman. And finishing up the batting order is going to be number 6, right fielder Colby Rockesy. And leading off for your Rock is going to be number 1, the first baseman Joey Purcell, junior, batting 337 on the year so far. Started 18 games so far this year, 59 at-bats, 17 runs, and 22 hits to go along with it. Miller's first pitch going to be a little to the outside, but going to be called strike. Miller on the year, as I mentioned earlier, 3.6 ERA, only five appearances and 25 innings pitched, with 17 strikeouts, usually holding his batters to a 2.7 batting average. Miller with the pitch. On the inside, it's going to be another strike. As I mentioned, Purcell again hitting .373 on the season. Only 1 home run on the year, but 11 RBIs, 22 hits as well. It's going to be a ball. Miller loading up for the first pitch. Delivers. That one's going to be popped up. One's going to be going into deep left field, but that one is going to be absolutely no problem for Ryan Callahan. That's going to be the first retired batter of the day here at Wild Things Park. Now next up to bat is going to be number 5, the center fielder for the Rock, Cam Panko Morris, the junior. He's batting .274 this year. 25 games played, 22 of those games started, 73 at-bats, 12 runs, 20 hits, 4 home runs on the year as well, leading all the hitters for the Rock who are playing today. It's going to be a hard swing as Miller's going to throw a pitch to the outside. It's going to be a strike one. Put this in an 0-1 count. Miller delivers. That one's going to be a little outside, but umpire's still going to call that a strike. That's going to be an 0-2 count. Miller again, gonna check the swing, and that one's gonna be a strikeout. Puts a little bit too much there. That's just gonna be a straight 1-2-3 for Miller. That's already 2 batters now down here for the Rock. He's batting up third in the order for the Rock is gonna be number 27, the left fielder, Michael Kitko, batting .361 on the year, 21 appearances in the game, or 21 game played. He's gonna be fouled off into right out of the park. It's going to put us in an 0-1 count. 72 at-bats, 12 runs, 26 hits on the year, 19 RBIs, leading the team on the field currently. So Miller's going to unload for another one. That one's going to be grounded over to first, but not going to be able to grab it. And that's going to be an on-base hit for Panko Morris, and that's going to get the Rock here a little bit less trouble. Batting fourth now, though, it's going to be number 4, the designated hitter, Noah Ross. He's been hitting 224 this year. 19 games played, 15 of those started, 49 at-bats. Tough scenario for him, though. Runner on first, 2 outs. As Miller's going to unload here. That one's going to be to the outside. It's going to be a 1-0 count. Panko Morris on first, 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Unlikely to take one here though in the 0-1 count or 1-0 count. It's going to be a swing though. It's going to be called a dead ball. Will be put in a 1-1 count here for Ross. And the wind's definitely starting to come into play here. Definitely on the field, you can start to feel the cold air a bit. And even if you look to the outfield, too, you can see the wind's blowing as that one's going to be popped up over near second base. The shortstop is going to grab that. Caleb Collins going to retire the top of the inning for the Vulcans. 0-0 is your score. The Rock only able to get one man on base before things go to an end. This is going to turn over to the Vulcans batting lineup now. Connor Carney going to be leading the team off here. The third baseman, he's a sophomore, batting .275 this year, 25 games played. 18 of those games started, 69 at-bats on the year, 13 runs, 19 hits to go along with it as well, but slugging a .435. Looking to get this series off started well, as this is going to be an important one for the Vulcans. Heading into the later half of the year now, California leading the West 21-8 with their overall record, 8-4, tied with Mercyhurst, Slip, and Seton Hill for the top seed in the West. All of those at 8-4. So, this is a big matchup for those teams, wanting good playoff seeding heading into the PSAC playoffs. Slip heading in with a 17-9 record. Seton Hill at a 22-9, and Hurst at an 11-13, but having an impressive conference record, make sure that they're staying at the top of the conference. And on the mound for the Rock is going to be the right-handed pitcher, Gage Gillon, and there's a lot to say about this guy. A 0.8 ERA and 6 win-loss ratio, 5 wins, 1 loss, 7 appearances, 7 games started, 43 innings pitched, 24 hits to his name, only 4 errors, excuse me. So this is a tough ask for these Vulcan batters. They've proven all year long, especially from the likes of Peyton Connie on this Vulcan team, batting a .492 on the year, absolutely crushing it. It's a tough ask for both of these teams. You have your best pitcher on the mound if you're the Rock, but you're going to be going up against some very good batters on the side of the Vulcans, and Connor Carney going to be the one to lead us off here at the bottom of the first. Going to be this first pitch for Gillow for today. It's going to lead us into an 0-1 count. So Carney's just going to take the swing and misses it. Gillow lines up again. I'm going to be too far on the inside. That one's going to be called a ball. That'll put us in a 1-1 count. A lot again. That one's going to go high outside. 2-1 count here for Carney at the bottom of the first. If you're just joining us, game still 0-0 here at Wild Things Park. I would like to say beautiful clear skies, something that's been a rarity over these past few weeks. Is Gillow again going to load up here? That one's going to be high. Again called a ball. It's going to put Carney in a 3-1 count. And as I mentioned, the top of this broadcast was supposed to be 2 games played yesterday in this series. It's 2 having to be canceled due to weather. That one's going to be an inside fastball. Going to be called a strike. That's going to load the count here. 3-2 count for Carney. Bottom of the first, no outs. Pitch coming in. That one's going to be hit into center field. We'll leave a little too much hanging, though, and that's going to be easily caught by the center fielder on the side of the Rock, Panko Morris. The only Rock player so far to get on base. Now up to bat here, second in the order is going to be Caleb Collins, batting .338 on the year. The freshman is playing 27 games, starting 21 of them. 74 at-bats, 20 runs, 25 hits, and 15 RBIs. So a solid 47-3. It's going to be on the inside. A nice ball on the inside. That's going to lead to an 0-1 count here for Collins. Wind's starting to play a little more into play here. Gallo lining that one up. Collins just going to take a jab at it, though. It's going to be called strike, and that's going to be an 0-2 count for Collins. Lining up. Collins going to take that one. Unsuccessful. Going to be a little too far outside, and that's going to be a strikeout for Galot. That's going to lead up the third batter here for your Vulcans, Santino Mara, the junior, batting .337 here. 101 at-bats on the season, 15 runs, 34 hits, 22 RBIs. Led this team in nearly every category last year. Was a key part to this team's success as well. His first pitch, the one's going to be a little too far on the inside for Mara's liking, though. He's going to let that one go. It's the 0-1 count now. Not wasting any time at all. Loading up. One's going to be on the inside. Mara's going to line that one into right field. Going to get past the likes of the right field. Mara going for 2, and could even go for 3, but not going to risk it at all. And 2 outs at the bottom of the first. Mara's going to line himself into right field at the wall and put a Vulcan on base. It's going to bring up the 4th batter in the order, number 7, left fielder Ryan Callahan, the junior, batting .361 this year. 29 games played, 29 games started, 108 at-bats, leading these Vulcans on the field today in that category. 23 runs, 39 hits, and 25 RBIs. A lot loading up. Going to send that one to the inside. Callahan thought he had a good chip of it, but only going to put that off near the bench, putting us in an 0-1 count. Bottom of the first, 2 outs, runner on second for the Vulcans. Ryan Callahan up to bat in an 0-1 count. Galot checking second. Loads his pitch on the inside. Umpire going to call that one a ball. 1-1 count here for Callahan in the bottom of the first. And that's going to be a good hit by Callahan into right field. Santino Mara going to be putting on the wheels. The throw coming in from Morris from the right fielder, but the catcher's going to mishandle it and going to lose the grip on the ball, and that's going to send Callahan to second as well. Santino Mara going to be able to get the run, and Ryan Callahan batting in a run, and the umpire is going to call Callahan back to first. Or no, just going to be offloading his batting gear to the first base coach. And that's going to be a double for Ryan Callahan. And that is going to bring up probably the guy you least want to see here today, Peyton Connie, the junior, batting 5th in this order, .492 on the season. And I mean, if there's any batter I wouldn't want to face, it's a guy hitting that hard. In 65 at-bats, 32 hits. I mean, you're almost guaranteed to hit every time he comes up to bat. The Vulcans now lead this one 1-0 at the bottom of the first. 2 outs, runner on second. Low with the pitch. And what am I going to say here? Peyton Connie's going to drive that one deep into left field. That one's going to hit the ground, though. And that one is going to drive in Callahan. Going to be 2-0 for the Vulcans at the bottom of the first. Carney and Collins both get out. And that's not going to stop Mara from driving one into right. Puts him on second. Then Callahan drives in the run, putting the Vulcans up 1-0. And then Peyton Connie going to come up to bat. Put this up to a 2-0 lead here at the bottom of the first. Next up is going to be 6th in the order. Number 26, the catcher, Jaden Titano, the senior, batting .264 on this year. 20 games played, 16 of those started. Go low with the pitch. Middle to the outside, but going to be called strike. Titano in his at-bats. 10 runs, 14 hits, 1 double on the year, and 1 home run. 10 RBIs as well. 0-1 count here. Go low. Putting that one on the inside. Titano is going to bite at it. It's going to put us in an 0-2 count here. Bottom of the first, 0-2 count for Titano. Low going to check the runner at first, Peyton Conti. Drove in a run from Ryan Callahan. Puts the Vulcans up 2-0. Low with the pitch. Up center. One's going to be fouled out by the right dugout. The Vulcans almost through their entire batting order already now, up to the 6th batter for the day already. That one's going to go near the head of Taitano. That one's going to be called a ball. 1-2 count. Line releasing up the center. Taitano going to drive that one down the left baseline. That one's going to be easily handled by the third baseman of Butler over to first, and that's going to retire the inning here on CUTV and 91.9 FM. Going to take a quick break here as we head into the top of the second. We'll be right back. And welcome back here into CUTV here at Wild Things Park. We're going to be heading up to the top of the second now. Slip going to be back up to bat. Be the 4th batter in the lineup, fifth. Second baseman Kobe Bubash. He's going to check the swing. That's going to be a strike. That's going to put us in an 0-1 count here. Vulcans up 2-0 after an impressive hitting collection by Santino Mar, Ryan Callahan, and Peyton Conti. Pitch going to be a little too far into the outside. It's going to put us in a 1-1 count. Bubash, the senior, hitting .284 on the year. 25 games played, 25 games started. Miller with the inside pitch. That one's going to be popped up into left field. That one is going to be going deep enough, and that's going to be a home run unexpectedly. Seems like the wind carried that one a bit, as that almost seemed like it was going to be a routine fly ball into left field. But no, Bubash is going to hit that one out of the park, his second home run of the year. And Slip going to make this a 2-1 game, as the away fans coming alive here, as there's a decent amount of people here supporting the Rock. That's not a long trip for them to make. Even though we're only at the top of the second, that's going to breathe some life back into the dugout of the Rock. And certainly not a bad pitch either. Just I think the wind carries that one a little bit past into the outfield. Miller's going to drive that one into the center. But that's just going to be easily hit by number 32, Eddie Morris. Wasn't even able to get to him yet. He's going to get himself an easy single into the right field line. That is going to bring up number 12, the third baseman, Brandon Butler. Freshman batting .283. 18 games played, 17 of those games started. 53 appearances at the plate, only 5 runs, but he's hit the ball 15 times, 9 RBIs as well. He has a chance to do it again. Runner at first, no outs. That one's going to be hit again. Miller giving up his third straight pitch hit, and that's going to be diving and caught by the center fielder of the Vulcans. Great play, Jason Nutridge, and it's going to make this game a lot more breathable for the Vulcans, as now you're going to have an out as there's 3 straight pitches hit for Miller. An impressive diving play by Nutridge. Freshman able to make his mark here at home. Keep this game a little more manageable. Avoids putting the runner in scoring position. As Miller's going to offload this one. A little to the outside, 1-0 count. And this is going to bring up the catcher, number 8, the catcher, Robbie Barrientos, the senior, batting 193 on the year. So kind of up in the game, it's sometimes hard to remember who's up to bat. This one's going to be up the middle, and that one's going to be smashed, but it's going to be fouled off, and even though the Vulcans outfield trying to get to it, too far for anyone to get to. 1-1 count. Here we are at the top of the second. If you're just tuning in here, we're at Wild Things Park here for this series between the Rock and the Vulcans. The Vulcans having an impressive bottom of the first, batting in 2 runs, but the Rock able to come back after a solo home run by Kobe Bubash. 1 out, 1-1 count, 1 runner on first. That one's going to be popped up into right field. That one's going to be easily handled by the likes of Rockesy. It's going to put the Rock in 2-out territory now.
Next up, the shortstop, number 7, Braden Olson.
That's going to bring us to the bottom of the order now. Number 7, the shortstop, Braden Olson, 200 on the year batting. 19 games played, 16 of those games started. Miller going to be checking first. Comes the pitch. Bit of a check swing, but not going to be called. 1-0 count. Olson to 40 at-bats, 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 runs batted in. So Miller's going to offload this one a little too high. 2-0 count. And for Miller, I mean, this has to be a tough pitching battle mentally, going up against the likes of Gallo. I was talking to my good friend John Sapier during the break, and that's a tough pitcher to go against. You see his statistics, a 0.8 ERA in almost 7 games played. So it's going to be another high pitch by Miller. 3-0 count. Miller himself, no slacker, 3.6 ERA. 25 of his innings pitched, only letting up 12 runs. Miller on the inside, that one's going to be called strike. 3-1 count now, 2 outs, top of the first. Blast in the left field by Kobe Bubash. Carried by the wind, gets slip on the board. Miller going to offload that one. Enough drop to it. Olson isn't going to go, so that's going to put us in a 3-2 full count here. 2 outs, top of the second. What does Miller have to answer? Pitch comes in. That one's going to be lined and fouled off into the right half of the field. Still a full count here, 2 outs. Braden Olson up at bat. Miller with the pitch on the inside. That one's going to be lined into right field, but that one's going to be no concern of all for Rockesy, who's going to be able to retire this top half of the inning. Send the Vulcans back up to bat here. Match, excuse me, as I mentioned, is going to bring this back to a more manageable lead for the Vulcans. Only 2-1 here, top of the second here at beautiful Wild Things Park. As I mentioned earlier, clear skies today. Weather is absolutely beautiful, something that in this area has not been said for probably around 2 or 3 weeks now. Winds making it far colder than I think most of us here at CTV would like. getting us started here at the bottom of the second is going to be number 12 for the Vulcans, Nathan Meeks, batting .270 on the year, 26 games played, 16 of those games started. Glow lining up here. Meeks going to take the first swing at it, finding nothing though. 0-1 count for these Vulcans, as I mentioned. Heading into the latter half of the year, not much left as Meeks is going to blow that one into left field. That one's going to be gone. Bombed into left field. Nathan Meeks sends us home here. 3-1 lead for the Vulcans. After all, everything locks up. Meeks sends that one into left. Gonna make this a 3-1 game for the Vulcans off of an 0-1 count. Glow has had an impressive season so far, and even here today, has had an impressive showing. Only at the top of the, or only at the bottom of the second, excuse me. But lets up a home run, second one of the game. That is Meeks' first of the year. I was going to say before Meeks blasted that one in right field. Almost at the end of the season, Cal not having much left here. Have the likes of Fairmont State, IUP, Walsh-Hurst, and a few others up left. So now you're going to have eighth in the order. The first, number one, excuse me, the center fielder, Jason Nutridge, freshman batting .310 on the year. Glow's going to leave that one a little bit too low. Gonna be able to catch a bit of it, but not enough to put it in the field to play. 1-1 count here. Wild Things Park, 3-1 game after a blast into left field by Meeks and a blast into the left field by Bubash. Got the rock on the board. That one's gonna be fouled up here. Shivering in my timbers, but standing cold still as I usually do. One-two count. Glow loads that one. Going to be too high. 2-2 count here now. No outs. Again, if you're just joining us, as I just mentioned, two blasts in the left field have made this a 3-1 game. It's a late swing. Going to send Jason Nutridge back to the dugout and bring up the final batter in the Vulcan order, number 6, the right fielder, Colby Rockesy. Two important outs so far for him in right field. But now he's finally able to show himself up at bat. 259 on the year, 29 games played, 29 of those games started. Inside ball is going to be able to drop enough for Rockesy to just not have the confidence to go for the swing. Puts him in an 0-1 count. Rockesy goes for the swing. Goes towards the third baseline, going to find itself out though. 0-2 count quick for him. 85 at-bats, 20 runs, 22 hits, and 15 RBIs. 2 home runs on the year as well. And with the wins in his favor, hoping he can get another one. Glow's going to throw that one a little too far to the outside, though. 1-2 count. Glow's going to take some time, but speeding things up here quick as Rockesy's just going to be able to find enough on that pitch. Keep him in the count. 1-2. Only one out. Jason Nutridge took a little bit of a late swing at his at-bat. Put us to where we are now. Glow loads up to the inside. That one's going to be swung at. Strike 3 called for Colby Rockesy, and that's going to bring us back to the top of the order for your California Vulcans. Number 31, the third baseman, Connor Carney.
Next up, the third baseman, 31, Connor Carney.
Wasn't able to get much done in his last at-bat, but the 3-1 lead already at the bottom of the second. Home, you can find a little more. Glow's going to leave that one on the inside. Going to be fouled off to left territory of the park. Puts him down on an 0-1 count early. Glow to the inside. That one's going to be lined up the middle by Carney. It's going to put him on base. 2 outs here, but Connor Carney going to be able to find the inside of the field. And that one's going to lead up Second batter of your order, number 27, the shortstop, Caleb Collins. Freshman batting .338 on the year. Legendary walk-up song. That one's going to be a little to the inside, a little scary for Collins, almost hit him in the chest. That's going to put him in a 1-0 count. 2 outs, 3-1 game at the bottom of the second. Runner on first off of Carney, and he's going to be checked by the likes of Galat. Able to make it back safely to first, though. No troubles for him. Collins struck out in his last at-bat, hoping to make a little more out of this. Going to go for the swing off the ball up high, and that's going to put him now 1-1. Checking the runner at first again. Absolutely no trouble for Carney. Not taking much of a lead of himself. Lowe just trying to slow the game down now. So he's going to load off here. That one's going to hit Caleb Collins. He kind of like just let that one happen, and that one is going to bring up Santino Morrow. Got the first hit of the game for the Vulcans, which led off to start that 3-1 lead they're up to now. Another legendary walk-up song. Gotta love your Dean Martin. 3-1, bottom of the second. Runners on first and second. Galat lines that one up. That one's going to be hit by Santino Morrow. That one's going to be into deep left field. But again, the wind's carrying this one, making it a little weird for the left field of Michael Kitko. But that one's going to retire the bottom of the second. We'll be right back here on SKU TV and 91.9 FM. Welcome back to Wild Things Park, top of the third. Leading off the top of the third for the Rock is going to be the top of the order, Joey Purcell. Miller throws that one a little bit too low, but still going to be hacked at by the legs of Purcell. 0-1 count. Miller loading up. Sends that one a little too far outside. 1-1 count. If you're unaware of how we got to this scenario, quiet top of the first for the Rock. Miller's going to load that one on the inside. Called ball, 2-1 count. Santino Morrow got it started for the Vulcans at the bottom of the first. Was driven in by Ryan Callahan after a double, and then Peyton Connie drove in Ryan Callahan, made it a 2-1 game. Top of the second, Kobe Bubash blasted one to left field, made it a 2-1 game. And then at the bottom of the second, Nathan Meeks came up second pitch, blew that one to left field as well, as Miller's going to line up here. Again, this one goes too far on the inside. 2-2 count now. 3-2, excuse me. So it's going to load the count for Joey Purcell. Read the wrong name. Joey Purcell wasn't able to find much his last time here at bat. He's going to swing this one up the middle to the shortstop, over to first, and that one is going to get him out of the game here quickly. 2 at-bats for Purcell, not able to find anything in either. Quick play by Collins over to Nathan Meeks. He's going to send this to a 1 out for the Vulcans. That's now going to bring up Campanco Morris. Miller, a little too far outside, 1-0 count. Miller again, too far to the outside, 2-0 count now. Panko Morris, talked about last time he came up to Matt, 274 on the year, 25 games played and 22 of those games started. Struck out last time he was up to bat. This one's going to be put up the middle. That one's going to be lined out into right field. A lot of action for Rockesy here today. That one's going to be flown out to him. He's going to put this to 2 outs now for the Rock. The top of the third. We get some reminiscence here of the top of the first. So Michael Kitco going to come up to bat again. Got to hit his last time up to bat into right field. So Miller's going to unload here. Outside the zone, ball 1. 2 outs. Top of the third. 3-1 game for the Vulcans. Miller going to load again, a little too far to the outside. It's going to be ball 2, 2-0 count. Kitco hitting .361 on the year. 2 home runs and slugging out a .486 as he's going to pop this one up over around my head. Oh, in front of my face, and you're our great cameraman, Hunter Garman. You could tell he was shaking in his jorts. It's going to put us in a 2-1 count. It scared me for a little bit there. I didn't see that one falling down over the awning. So Miller's going to unload here. Up the middle. That one's going to be put up high. But it looks like that one's going to be conned into center field. Going to retire the top half of the inning. Connor Carney is going to put us down here and put us to the bottom of the third. You're watching CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube and listening to 91.9 FM. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Wild Things Park. As we head into the bottom of the third now. Leading off this bottom half of the inning for your Vulcans is going to be number 7, the 4th batter in the lineup, your left fielder, Ryan Callahan. Already Already a hit and an RBI in this game for him. Gallant's going to load up here. On the inside, Callahan's going to take a hack. Finds nothing. If you're just joining us here at the bottom of the third, missed a decent bit here as Kobe Bootmash blasted one to the left, followed up by Nathan Meeks. After some impressive hitting, as Ryan Callahan's going to load that one down the middle of the baseline. Finds nothing, though. So that one's going to be easily handled. The shortstop, Braden Olson, putting Callahan down early. Going to be bringing up number 20, Peyton Connie. I feel like I've said this already before 2 or 3 times, but batting .492 on the year. Already hit in this game as well, and an RBI. Probably not the ideal guy you want up to bat. This one's going to be a little to the outside, but called strike. 0-1 count now. 1 out. As I said, Nathan Meeks blasted one to the left field. Made this a 3-1 game. Connie's going to take a hack of that one, too. 0-2 count for Peyton Connie. That name sounds familiar. Father is the head coach of the team. Gallant going to want a little more of a swing by Connie, but finds nothing. It's going to be the first ball of this at-bat. Speeding the game up a little bit is Gallant now, as Connie's going to be able to find a bit of contact on that one, but still send it out. 1-2 count still. Gage Gallant able to determine the pace of play pretty well. He's going to load this one up too far to the outside. 2-2 count. 1 out. Pitch count of 38 for him. Gallant lines up and finds the hack from Kane. Thought that one was going to drop a little more for him to be able to blast, but finds nothing. That is now going to bring up number 26, the catcher, Jaden Taitano. Wasn't able to find much at his last time at bat. Hoping to find a bit more here. These Vulcans have been finding themselves in good situations at the 0-2 or the 0-2 counts. So that one's going to put him in a 1-0 count. Gallant loading up on the inside. Too high, going to be called ball 2. Gallant to the outside. Just edges the strike zone. 2-1 count for him. Up to 46 pitches. 5 hits off of him so far. Earning 2 runs to his name here. Someone's going to be lined into right field. Going to be able to be caught by the right fielder. And going to retire this bottom half of the third for the Rock. That's going to send us back to a break. You're listening to 91.9 FM WCAL and CU Sports 1. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Wild Things Park here. We start at the top of the 4th here. Your Vulcans up 3-1. after 2 home runs, made this quite an interesting game created between these two teams, battling for top seeding in the West, both of them with an 8-4 conference record. A bit of a surprise season here for the Vulcans. Expected to be high up in the West, but I think touted by many across the conference, not expected to be first, as Miller's going to offload this one a little too far outside. It's going to be ball 1. And up now is going to be number 4, Noah Ross. Designated hitter here for game 1 of this series. So Miller's going to load that one to the outside again. Ross wasn't able to find much. His last time up at bat. So Miller now up to 41 pitches on the day, earning only 1 with only 1 run, 1 hit. It's going to be a strike thrown to the outside, 2-1 count. Miller's done a good job of being able to control the pace of play after a little bit of a risky top of the second. The hit by Ross into left field is going to easily be handled by the likes of Ryan Callahan. It's going to send Ross back to the dugout. That's now going to bring up number 11, the 5th in the lineup, second baseman Kobe Bubash. Last time up at bat, as I've mentioned already, solo home run into left field, made this a 3-1 game. Already batting .284 on the year. As Miller's going to unload. On the inside, strike 1. As I was just talking about, after a little bit, a risky top of the second where his nerves might have started to come in a little bit. That one's going to hit the elbow, I believe, wrist of Bubash, and that's going to send him to first. I was just about to say, Miller's done a good job of being able to control the game, slow it down to his pace, and bring these to long, drawn-out counts and get in the heads of the batters, but sends Bubash to first, 1 out. It's going to bring up number 32, the right fielder, Eddie Morris. As Miller's going to unload this one to the outside. 1-0 count. 3-1 game for the Vulcans. Bubash taking a bit of a lead at first. So Miller's going to want to throw this one a little too high. 2-0 count. Taitano jumps a little bit there. I think trying to make sure Bubash stays his place first. As Miller unloads. Again to the outside. 3-0 count now. These 3 pitches all looking a little off so far. As Miller loads up on the inside, that's going to be strike 1. Moore seemed like he just wanted to let that one go and try and get on base. Put a runner in scoring position at second, but not going to be able to find it. Miller finds the inside of the strike zone. So he unloads again. Clips the edge. It's going to put us to a full count here, 3-2. As Miller's going to load this one up the middle. That one's going to be a fly ball in the field of play. Meeks almost loses it, but going to be able to capture it. 2 outs here for the Vulcans. Bit of a dangerous at-bat for Miller and these Vulcans. He went down early in a 3-0 count. Able to battle himself back in, though. The fly ball is going to put this 2 outs. Bubash still on first. That one's going to bring up the third baseman, number 12, Brandon Butler. Runner on first, 2 outs, 3-1 game. Miller drives this one up the middle. 0-1 count now. Miller drops this one a little too low, and that's going to put him in a 1-1 count now. Looks like Josh Bryson now working out in the bullpen. For your California Vulcans, nobody for the Rock yet. Is Miller going to be able to leave this one a little too far on the inside. One's going towards center. One's going to be caught by the left field, Callahan, and that one's going to retire the top of the fourth and send us back down to the Vulcans batting order. You're listening to 91.9 FM WCAL and California University Television Sports 1. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, into Wild Things Park. So we're in the bottom of the fourth. It's been an exciting game here so far here. So we've had clear skies, weather not so hot, but nonetheless, still providing us some good baseball. Last time Nathan Meeks, the batter now, was up to bat. Blasted one into left field, no doubt. Galot's going to line up here. Send this one up the middle. Puts Meeks down 0-1. And if you're just now watching here at the bottom of the fourth, Scallo's going to line this one into the middle of the strike zone. Strike two. Kobe Bubash blasted one to the left to start the scoring for the Rock. Ryan Callahan, Santino Mara, Peyton Connie all played their part in getting this into a 3-1 game. And Nathan Meeks, the man who just got thrown out at first, was the one who made this a 3-1 game. That's going to be the first out at the bottom of the fourth here for the Rock. And that's now going to be bringing up number one, the center fielder, Jason Nutridge. I think that's the Kids Bop version of Watch Me Whippin' Nay Nay. Great walk-up song, in my opinion. Galot's going to blast this one down the middle. Able to get some contact there on that. Nothing special, though. 0-1 count. Nutridge not able to find much last time at bat as he struck out, and strike two for him. Galot's going to load this one. Lined out into left field. Bit of sun and a bit of wind. Looks like it's going to get in the eyes of the left fielder of Kitco, but not much of a contest for him. 2 outs here at the bottom of the fourth now, and that one can bring us to the bottom of the order. Number 6, the right fielder, Colby Rockesy. As I mentioned last time he was up to bat, he's had a bit of action in right field on the defensive side of the ball. In his first at bat, it was only a strikeout. Galot's going to line up. One called ball one. Strike one, excuse me. Takes a hack at it is Rockesy. Not able to find anything. Puts himself 0-2 in the count with 2 outs now. Galot. able to get him in. Count was wrong. 1-2 count, excuse me. I thought so. Looks like our scores table got me a bit misconstrued. So now 1-2 count, 2 outs. Ball to the outside, 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th for your Vulcans with a 3-1 lead. Pitch up the middle. Swung at. No contest there, and that's going to send us into another break. You're listening to 91.9 FM, WCAL, CUTV Sports 1. We'll be right back here for the top of the 5th. Welcome back, everyone, to Wild Things Park here, top of the 5th inning. As I previously said, this has been an exciting game as the Vulcans going to be bringing in a new pitcher here, Josh Bryson, leaving in for Jackson Miller. 1.83 ERA, 1 win, 1 loss on the season. No starts. Going to start off quick here with ball 1. And if you're just tuning in now, it's been an exciting game so far. This one's going to be lined into left field by Robbie Barrientos. Not able to start much here as he's going to get us off with a double here. Top of the 4th. The 5th, excuse me. Trying to recap the game as Barrientos already puts himself on base early on. Vulcans got started off with scoring here after good hits by Mara, Callahan, and Conte. Sent them to a 2-1 lead. Bumash on the side of the rock sends a solo blast into left field. Puts it at a 2-1 game. Then Meeks responds. Makes it 3-1. Lucas now to the outside. Ball 1. Barrientos on second. That brings up Braden Olson. Shortstop number 7. Getting a little far to the outside. It's going to be ball 2 for Bryson. Bryson unloads. That one going to be chipped out over top my head here. 2-1 count. No outs. Top of the 5th. Runner on second. After Barrientos got deep line into left field. Is Bryson going to put this one up the middle? Chipped away by Olson. Not able to find anything out of that, though. Olson wasn't able to find much in his last at-bat. The runner in scoring position, hoping to find something. It's going to be another ball batted out of play. 3 fouls straight for him. 2-2 count. Bryson gets ready for another pitch. Checks the runner at second. Too far out of the zone. Full count now for Braden Olson. 200 batting average, 40 plate appearances, 8 hits, 5 runs, and 2 runs batted in. Quiet evening here so far for him. He's going to be able to pop that one again. That's going to be another foul ball, 4 straight for him. An impressive play. Bottom of the third. And the defensive side of the ball. So far, the Rock haven't been able to find too much explosiveness here on offense. So Bryson's going to put this one up the middle. That one going to be popped out in the right side of the field. Meeks going to try to chase that one down unsuccessfully. Found its way between a rock and a hard place. Almost in the middle of Meeks and the right fielder of your Vulcans, Colby Rockesy. Neither of them really able to chase it down. So Olson survives another pitch in a full count now. Bryson. Again, this one going to be popped up, same location. A little closer for Meeks, though. But it's going to be out of the field of play where he can't really reach it. And again, Olson still surviving in this count. Barrientos on second. After a deep line drive past third base. Bryson gonna walk. Olson to first. An impressive at-bat for Braden Olson. Great plate vision and discipline. Being able to keep himself in this at-bat. That's going to have 2 runners on base now. Sending us to the top of the order for the Rock. Joey Purcell now. His 2 at-bats not being able to find much of anything. He's going to knock down the bunt. I'm going to be got by Bryson over to first to Meeks. That's going to be the first out. 2 runners in scoring position for the Rock. So a big at-bat coming up for Cam Panko Morris.
With 1 out now, batting center number 5, Cam Panko Morris.
Bryson finding himself in a hard situation here. Only 1 out with runners in scoring position. Pitch on the outside, called ball. Bryson unloads another one to the outside. Ball 2. Again, top of the 5th here. Hard situation for these Vulcans. Only 1 out with runners on second and third. Is Bryson going to unload this one? Inside ball. Called strike. Olson on second. Barrientos on third. Olson able to take himself a nice sizable lead. Barrientos himself also taking a nice one himself. Bryson up the middle. Bit of a check swing, but not enough. 3-1 count here for Cam Panko Morris. 274 on the year. 17 runs batted in. 4 home runs. This one's going to be popped into the middle. That one's going to be popped into center field. That's going to send home Barrientos for the run, and that's going to put this back to a 1-run lead for the Vulcans. A sac fly into center field by Cam Panko Morris. Makes this a 3-2 game here at the top of the 5th. Now this will bring up Michael Kitco. Had himself a hit so far here tonight. Bryson, 2 outs, 1 runner at second. Throws the pitch a little too far outside. Ball 1. This tough scenario gets a little easier for him. So 2 outs makes it a bit easier to end the inning. And the half, excuse me. He's going to unload this one up the middle. Marked ball 2. Bryson checking the runner at second. Throwing this one down. Ball 3. That being Olson on second. Was able to put himself in a very great at-bat, battling his way through Bryson. He throws a strike, makes this a 3-1 count. Got himself a walk onto first. Was able to advance himself to second. Bryson. Called strike 2. Kidco, I think, wanted that one to be his 4th ball and a walk to first. He's deep in the batter's box. He's going to line this one over to third. Quick play for the Vulcans. Over to Meeks. Almost botches that one. Off of a bit of a wonky pitch from the third baseman. That's going to send us to the end of the half. You're listening to 91.9 FM CUTV Sports 1. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back, everyone, here to Wild Things Park. A little halfway through the game here as we're now at the bottom of the 5th. Leading off the bottom of the 5th is back up to the start of the lineup. Number 31, the third baseman, Connor Carney. Gage Gallant still at the mound for the Rock. 61 pitches to his name. That one's going to be called strike 1. He's had such an impressive season. A little bit of a rough one here for him today at the mound. 5 hits, 3 earned runs. That one's going to be blown up past the second base for a single. It's going to put the Vulcans on base early on. We're now going to bring up number 27, the shortstop, Caleb Collins. Struck out his last time at bat. Looks to lay down the bunt. Easily going to be handled by Gallant. Over to first, advancing the runner over to second. So Carney now on second. Collins retired at first. That's going to bring up number 8, the second baseman, Santino Mara. Already a hit and a run for him today. One out here, bottom of the 5th, 3-2 game. Lott's going to throw this one too far outside. 1-0 count for Mara. As I mentioned, last time he was up to bat, played a big part in last year's team for these Vulcans. Many accolades for himself. Looks to cement himself again this year as we're heading to the latter half of the season. As Galott's going to load up the middle. Mara blasts this one on the right field line. Will go out, not being able to be recovered by the first baseman of the Rock, Joey Purcell. 1-1 count for Mara. 1 out. In the circle is Ryan Callahan. On second base, Connor Carney. Checking the runner at second. Unloads up the middle. Mara again going to blast this one out of the field of play. Out towards the highway. 1-2 count for him. And 6 hits on the day for these Vulcans here today at Wild Things Park. Again, clear skies, something that's been a bit unusual here over the past few days out here in western Pennsylvania, but absolutely blessed to be here today and watching a great game of baseball as Gallant's going to throw this one right on the edge of the strike zone, though. Called ball 2. So it'll be an even 2-2 count. Something to love about Mara is he takes such an active stance on the inside of the box. He's going to blast this one down the right field line. Again, an awkward zone where no one's really able to get to it. Purcell chasing after it and Morris chasing after it, but just finding that weird equilibrium where neither of them are really able to get to it. 2-2 count again still. Not much change there. 3-2 game if you're just joining us here. CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Network, or 91.9 FM. An exciting game between these two teams. You're battling for the first seed in the West as Gallo throws this one up the middle. Mara going to take a hack at that one. Finds nothing, though. It's going to be another strikeout for Gallant, finding himself 6 on the day. That one's going to bring up Ryan Callahan. Made this a 3-2 game for the Vulcans. Excuse me, a 1-0 game for the Vulcans after bringing in Santino Mara after that double in the bottom of the first. So a hit and an RBI for him and a run. As they're going to check the runner at second. It's going to be safe for Carney. Been sitting out there at second base for a little bit now. 0-0 count for Callahan. Infield letting off a bit. Gets a little bit of that one. Goes towards the net. Finds nothing, though. 0-1 count for Callahan. Seen some action in the left field here on the defensive side of the ball as well. 2 outs for the Vulcans. The runner on second. Inside pitch, called strike 2. So now an 0-2 count for Callahan. 2 outs, runner on second. Bottom of the 5th. Gallant slowing the game down to his pace now. 6 strikeouts for him. Letting up 3 runs already. High outside pitch, called ball 1. Callahan hitting .361 on the year. Only 1 home run to his name, but 25 RBIs with a slugging of .481. So he's no slouch, with 16 strikeouts as well. Tough scenario for him. Gallant unloading this one up the middle. Callahan just able to touch, get a bit of contact on the ball, keeping him alive in this count. And if you're Gallant, definitely want to send Callahan out because next up is Peyton Connie in the batting order. And that's not a tough ask for any pitcher in the PSAC or any of Division II baseball. Hitting .492 on the year, with a hit already tonight. Gallant unloads, hacked away by Callahan, sends us out of this 5th inning. You are watching CUTV Sports 1, listening to 91.9 FM. We'll be back here for the top of the 6. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, into Wild Things Park here, top of the 6th. As we're nearing the end of our journey here in Game 1. I am Nate Kurtz. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend here. It is a Saturday here, beautiful weather, clear skies with a bit of clouds. Josh Lucas on the mound throws a quick ball one. If you're part of the California faithful, having a good day so far here. This baseball team already top of the West. The best record in conference, 8-4, tied with Hearst, Seton Hill, and Slippery Rock. Hearst, last time you'll be seeing them in the PSAC, recently making the move up to Division I as Lucas. It's enough curve on that one. As Noah Ross at the plate now. Lucas high inside. Called ball 2, so an even 2-2 count. The Vulcans leading 3-2 here at the top of the 6th. So Lucas unloads this one up the middle. Ross is going to pop this one up into left field. This wind, though, has been dangerous so far. Already caught a home run. That's going to be no trouble for the likes of Callahan. Gets us already down 1 out. That's going to bring up Bubash, who, as I was just saying, already drove one, into left field. Again, this wind just a bit awkward and carrying some of these balls a little farther than they should be. We've already seen some of these line drives have just been a little dangerous for these pitchers as Lucas unloads this one. Dangerous hit up the middle by Bubash, up to center field. That's going to get him a single. He tried testing second. Found nothing, though, but safely able to make his way back. A lot of power behind that swing, too, just to send him up to first. So it's 1 out now. Rock has a batter at first. 5 hits as a team so far with 1 error. There's another hit over to first. This one looks like it's going to be a double play, but no, the misplay by the second baseman is going to send Bubash to third. Looked like it was going to be another misplay. A bit of confusion as I don't think Eddie Morris, who was the batter, knew he was tagged as he went to second thinking that he got himself a free base, not thinking Meeks touched it. But the mishandle on the side of Mara, maybe due to the wind or just due to the tough dive he had to make, makes that a bit tough. And that's going to be a fly ball by Butler, and that one's easily going to be able to be caught and retired by the right fielder, Colby Rockesy. Vulcans avoid a scary top half of the 6th, sending us to the bottom of the 6th. We're watching CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Network, and 91.9 FM. Stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back to Wild Things Park, everyone. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Glott still at the mound for the Rock, excuse me. Almost said the Vulcans. Up for the Vulcans, though. It's number 20, the designated hitter for today, Peyton Connie. Already have a hit in this game. The Vulcans escaped kind of a scary top of the sixes. Immediately, why the heck not? Sends this one deep down the third baseline. Conte looking to go for two. So he's easily going to be able to make himself over to second. That's going to put him at the second base, and that now is going to bring up number 26, the catcher, Jaden Taitano. A quick at-bat for Kane. It only took him one pitch to get himself over on base. Doubt there's going to be any complaints from the dugout over that. Vulcans have some action going over in the bullpen. Looks like Jake Kramer is warming up, number 55. Nothing yet for the Rock. Looks like they're going to try and ride Gallant till the end of this game, who, all things considered, has been playing some solid baseball here today. Score, I don't think, necessarily says everything about how well he's pitched. Checking the runner at second is Gallant, but the bunt going to come down straight over to Gallant. Over to first. Easy out for him. So not a very quick at-bat for Jaden Taitano. Or not a very slow at-bat for him, mind you. So he gets out pretty quickly. But sacrifice bunt is going to put Conte on third and put the Vulcans in scoring position. Already with the lead, though. Now coming up for the Vulcans is Nathan Meeks. One hit for today. That being a home run and a strikeout for him. It's a nice pitch up the middle. Going to get enough break on it for Meek to bite. 0-1 count for him. One out. That out being the sacrifice bunt by Taitano. There's Gallant. There's this one up the middle. Meeks, again, goes for the bunt. Puts it out of play, though. 0-2 count for him now, early on. Speed of play already going relatively quick. Gallant puts this one up the middle. Looks like that one's going to be a fly ball. Lost a little bit by some of the infield. No one's going to be able to be caught by. That looks like it's going to be the second baseman of the Rock. Or the shortstop. Can't necessarily tell from where I am right now. Sun's kind of in my eyes, not going to lie. So either Cody Bubash, I believe, was the one to make that play. My eyes do not deceive me. And that is now going to bring up the eighth batter in the order, number 1, center fielder Jason Nutridge. Struck out once today. Pitch to the outside, ball 1. 2 outs at the bottom of the second. Vulcans in a good scenario to put themselves up 2 runs. That being if Nutridge is able to drive in Conte at third. The bunt down the third baseline. Impressive, too. Almost able to clip the edge of the third baseline, but not enough to be able to stay in bounds. So that's going to put him down at a 1-1 count now. Like I just said, too, the runner at third after a deep drive into left by Conte put him to second. And the sacrifice bunt by Taitano moved Conte to third. Pitch to the outside, ball 2. 2-1 count. Puts the Vulcans in a good scenario here. Meeks wasn't able to find anything in his at-bat. Put the Vulcans to 2 outs. Gallant looking to third. Unloads up the middle. Not able to find anything. The foul ball. Up near myself. Not shivering my timbers that time. Staying calm, cool, and collected. How could you not? It's a beautiful day outside here at Wild Things Park. Temperature certainly not in my favor, but clear skies and clear sun. Can't complain. 2-2 count now. Gallant unloads up the middle. That one blasted out of the field of play. Nutridge not able to find anything on that one, too. Staying deep within this count, though. It's been a long day here for Gage Gallant. 75 pitches, had 6 hits on him so far today. Gallant going to throw this one. Going to be driven over to Bumash, over to first. That's going to retire the bottom of the 6th. And ladies and gentlemen, heading into the top of the 7th, you're listening to 91.9 FM and you're watching CUTV Sports 1. Stay tuned for the end of this one. And welcome back, everyone, here. Top of the 7th, a chance for the Vulcans to end this game, give themselves the lead in this series. Going to be a few changes coming out here, as it's going to be Adam Crawford, who is warming up over in the bullpen, giving himself some throws in. He's going to replace Nathan Meeks at first. And on the mound is going to be Jake Kramer replacing Josh Bryson. It's his first pitch. Going to be low on the outside, called ball 1. Leading off for the Rock here at the top of the 7th is going to be Robbie Barrientos. It's another ball going to be called here. 2-0 count early. Barrientos. His pitch on the inside. This one's going to be lined up into left field. That one's going to be flown out. Barrientos, someone a little too high. That one's going to be taken out by Callahan. 7 hits on the day for your California Vulcans, with 1 error to go along with it. 5 hits for the Rock with 1 error to go along with them. 3-2 game here for the Vulcans. It's Kramer. Loads this one a little too high. It's going to be ball 1. Up to bat now. Braden Olson found himself on base just a few innings ago. So this one's going to be on the inside. Bit of an awkward pitch. Taitano wasn't able to capture that one. Coach Conte going to come out of the dugout and grab it. 2-0 count for Olson. On the inside again, awkward pitch for Taitano. 3-0 count now. Olson found himself in this scenario not long ago. Kramer's going to put this one on the inside. Strike 1. Was able to battle himself through the count, though. Got himself a walk. Kramer unloads this one to the outside. Almost looked like a check swing, but looked like it found the strike zone. 3-2 count with 1 out at the top of the 7th. Kramer throws this one a little too far to the outside, but Olson able to find it. If you're just tuning in here at the top of the 7th, 3-2 lead for the Vulcans. Santino Mara, Ryan Callahan, Peyton Connie all were able to find themselves on the board to give the Vulcans a 2-0 lead. Kobe Bubash then made it a 2-1 lead. Then Nathan Meeks blasted one into left to make it 3-1. There's a drive over to Santino Mara, easily captured by him, over to Adam Crawford. 2 outs here for the Vulcans. So now this is going to bring us back to the top of the order for the Rock, Joey Purcell. Kramer going to unload this one up the middle. Strike 1. Cam Panko Morris is able to make this a 3-2 game. Only 2 innings ago. Kramer going to again unload this one up the middle. 0-2 count for Joey Purcell. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Chance for the Vulcans to close this one out. I think Purcell's going to call time. Or the umpire at least calling time. Creamer now looking to end the game with this pitch. On the inside, this one's going to be blasted out of play. Purcell able to find the contact. Not able to find anything, though. Purcell having a bit of a rough game himself. Not able to find anything at the bat so far. It's Kramer unloading this one down the inside. Purcell lines this one over to third. And that is going to end the game for your Vulcans. 3-2 final score here at Wild Things Park. Stay tuned, everyone. We're looking at Game 2 of this series coming up next here on CUTV Sports 1, WCL, and the PSAC Network.